We want to get to our big story this morning. The U.S. is advising Israel to delay a ground invasion of Gaza to allow for more time for hostage negotiations and humanitarian aid. This as the Biden administration officials stress that the U.S. is not dictating operations for the Israeli Defense Force. NBC's Bree Jackson is joining us live from Capitol Hill. Bree, good morning.
Good morning, Maureen. As you mentioned, the White House is advising Israel to delay any ground invasion, and this is partly an effort to try to get more hostages released and provide more humanitarian aid.
As the war in Israel rages on, a small sign of relief. 2 more hostages released by Hamas. Still, it's believed more than 200 remain captive. President Biden was asked whether he'd support a ceasefire to get them out.
We should have those hostages released, and then we can talk.
The White House says 10 Americans are unaccounted for. Officials are working around the clock to locate them.
To find out where these folks are and to try to make the effort to get them out and get them back.
The U.S. is boosting its military presence in the region to include sending more air defenses and troops.
To ensure that we're postured appropriately, both in terms of being able to defend our forces and respond decisively as needed.
There are concerns the violence could escalate into a wider conflict. The Biden administration says it's taking steps to prevent that from happening.
Supporting Israel's defense of its people, helping secure the release of the hostages held by Hamas, addressing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
The U.S. is also urging Israel to delay its ground invasion to allow for more time for hostage talks and humanitarian aid. The situation growing even more dire each day.
Sadly, the longer this war goes, the deeper the humanitarian needs are going to be, and we will need more funding for sure.
Today, the UN Security Council meets in New York to discuss the ongoing situation in the Middle East.
And today, members of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs will receive a classified briefing focusing on Iran and its support of terror groups like Hamas. There's been bipartisan pressure for the Biden administration to toughen their Iran posture since the war in Israel began. Maureen?
Bree, hundreds of Palestinian Americans are at the Rafah border and say they don't feel prioritized. Why can't they leave?
So John Kirby with the National Security Council addressed this issue. He said that the administration is working every day to get them out of Gaza and that it's just been difficult, intense negotiations, but he's assuring those Americans that they are not forgotten about.
All right. Bree Jackson live for us on Capitol Hill. Thank you so much.